Getting a bit sauce. It's getting sauce, babes. It's getting sauce. It's not giving, you know? So, let's try this again, guys. Let's try this again. Like, the last maybe 3 or 4 live streams have been stuffing up on me like this, and it's not a freaking vibe. I'm not feeling it. I'm not vibing. I'm not tribing, you know? Um, I'm not iwiing. That's all I could think of. That's a Māori word for tribe, which really it ain't even like that, but it's the similar concept, you know, like it's same concept they're pointing to. So I guess it is like I think I was just like talking shit out of my ass, you know, like talking donkey. Why did that come to my head? Bish, I think I watched too much Dolo. Anyways, shout out to Dolo the Pilot Man, the OG, the OOG. Welcome to the live. Welcome, guys. Today we are doing number 3 of the series of lessons and law. Okay, so number 3 is about the environment. I'm not going to worry about Facebook because Facebook is fucking with me. Facebook is fucking with me, love. She don't want me to go. So, what are we talking about? Number 3. 3 represents the third house, right? This is your environment, your immediate environment. Okay, so this could be your neighborhood, and those kind of things. Not so much your home. That's more to do with the 4. That's more to do with the 4th house, like Cancerian vibe, you know. Number 3 is more about like the space. So that's kind of like your internal space, and then also like when you go out and you travel to different spaces, like kind of your short travel type vibe, you know. So you can go down to the park, you can go down the road to the store, like that's kind of 3 energy, right? You know, so this is all your environment. And when it's talking about your environment, it could be your mental environment, it could be your physical environment. So that's what we're going to break down today, is what have I learned in relation to mental environment and physical environment. Okay, some of these things may be obvious if you're very spiritually inclined, but if you're not spiritually inclined, or if you're new to this and you're still learning about spirituality, a lot of these will be new concepts. But I'm just going to try to keep it as sweet and simple and short, because I know my lives can get like to the hours long. And I usually intend to get them short, and then I end up blabbing on for ages and ages. But I don't really mind too much, because it's kind of like I'm playing out my natural nature, I guess. I guess. I don't know. It's a work in progress, guys. It's a work in progress. But, you know, you can't say I'm not real and that I'm not accountable, because I fucking show you exactly what the fuck's going on in my mind. That's that Taurus side of me. That's my Taurus side, but then also my Gemini side, because Geminis are all about the third house, right? The mental environment, okay? The communication. And because Tauruses are just like open books, they just share everything, like too much information, bitch. Shut, zip the lip kind of energy. So my Taurus side kind of takes my Gemini-ness and it's like, bleh. And then you get like that whole fucking fiasco of whatever you see on my YouTube channel, or whatever you're watching right now. Can be a little bit traumatizing for some, you know. Some might be like, what the fuck is this guy on about? Like, can he shut the fuck up? Like, and take a breath? When was the last time this guy breathed? Or blinked? I just blinked then. But anyways. Why the fuck do I want to do this to myself? No, 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 no. Yeah. Okay. Breathe, breathe, breathe. No, 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 no. Okay, just chill, bitch. Just take a chill pill. Just take a chill pill. Okay, so I'm taking a chill pill right now. Let me just take a sip of water. Do I have any more water? No. Anyways, anyways, it's not that funny. I'm not that funny. Why do I think I'm so funny? So guys, when it comes to your mental environment, I want to preface this video on saying you either are a product of your environment or you produce the environment. You can't really be anywhere in between. You can sort of be in between because there's always that equilibrium, but generally those are the two sides. That's the sides that you're going to be going between in the equilibrium state of whatever it is, so you're either going to be the product of the environment or you're going to produce the environment. So what are you going to be? Sorry, I just thought my brother said something to me, but I don't think so. What are you going to be, and you'll be able to tell as we get more into the video, as we progress into more details of what I'm actually saying about the environment. Okay, so when it comes to the environment, when you are a product of your environment, all right, this is going to be more related to energies of you feeling or being in a reactionary state of being, right? And when you produce the environment, right, this is going to be more in a state of being where others are reacting to your state of being, or others are reacting to your mentality. Okay, so this is how you can kind of decipher between the two, but I will get deeper into the video and talk more into detail about that specific topic. But I also want to preface and say we are in Aquarius moon and Aquarius sun right now, and I'm pretty sure it's 9 degrees right now where we are in Melbourne, Australia. We've got 9 degrees on both, so they're both exactly in the same position. So is that not an eclipse or some shit like that? So what does that mean? Is that an eclipse? I'm pretty sure that's an eclipse. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys. That might be an eclipse. I didn't even realize until like literally just this moment. I just clicked. I just freaking clicked. So if it is an eclipse, that could represent an energy of like one being blocked by the other. So our actions being blocked by our emotions. But because it's in the same position, it's going to be in the same space regardless. So our actions and our emotions are going to be in alignment in the same space. And this can cause like friction like experiences. So it can cause things to be like a little bit shaky. Because when two pigs get in a pod, like bish, they're gonna collide, they're gonna touch bums and they're gonna be like, I don't know why I said touch bums. But yeah, they're gonna touch, and the touch might not be so pleasant for some, because not everybody's homo like that, not everybody's into the same gender, same sex, same energy, not everybody's into that kind of vibe. So depends on the individual, are you into that? Are you not into that? Like that's gonna dictate whether or not your experience is pleasant. But honestly, just bar all everything I said. No, I'll go deeper. I'll go into it because I bet you I could explain that. I could probably break it down. Right now, I'm just sitting there thinking about how what I just said low-key sounded like I was talking shit, like talking out of my ass. But really, you can kind of break everything down. And once I realized as well, like when it comes to your environment, when you are in alignment with your true state of being and you are just being, aka you're not worrying about like, oh my gosh, what if, like in too much in the future or too much in the expectation, too much in the past or too much in the ass, too much head in the ground, like a freaking, what are those things that put their head in the ground? Is it an emu or an ostrich or something like that, where they go like into the ground, So if you're not any of those, you're gonna be I need to stop with the ums, bitch. Like Tweedledee, Tweedledum, like what the heck? So if you're not in either of those energies, then you'll be able to kind of be in that more state of being where you will just be able to express certain things. Like maybe other people might think you're talking shit, but like because you're just being and you're just like expressing and you're just in that state of like flow kind of thing, you end up saying some of the most truest, most profound shit, and other people will just hear it and they'll be like, that sounds like he's talking shit. But that's because they don't have the spiritual eye, they just got these two eyes. And these two eyes not probably don't even work that well. They probably have to wear glasses. They probably like had to go to the optometrist every week, like something like that. No offense to people who have to wear glasses, like just, pointing about things and how they play out, because the mental to the physical, everything bends in from the mental to the physical, So when it comes to Aquarius moon, Aquarius sun, our actions is going to be based on, and our feelings is going to be based on who we're associated with, people, places, and things. Okay, so people are going to be like bridge burning. People might be like, "Fuck this guy! I don't want to fucking see you, bitch! Get the fuck out of my face!" Or some people might be like, "Oh my gosh, like I need to find my soul tribe. Yes, I need to get with the baddies, kikiing and kakaing. Let's go get a cup of tea and make sure that like everything's all G." With the crew in the sea. I don't know. We're not talking about C's or B's. No. None of that gang shit. Get the fuck out of my face. So, when it comes to this kind of vibe, you'll realize that, first of all, that's for me. That's for me. I'm gonna keep that to myself. Anyways, don't worry about me, guys. Don't worry about me. The ADHD might be kicking in. It's something about like this time of night. 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock? It's 10 o'clock. What's that? It's like technically we're in the 10th. No, we're not in the 10th house. The fuck? We might be in the 10th house actually. No, we're not in the 10th house. Anyways, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Oh, okay. Yes, we just exited the 9th house and we're going into the 10th house. So, when it comes to exiting the 9th house and going into the 10th house, apparently Sagittarius makes me act like this. Sagittarius just makes me go, but, like, I don't know if it's my chart, because I'm a Sagittarius moon, like, it's just making my Sagittarius come out on steroids or what. But we're also, like, what month is it? January, February? So, we are actually in, bro, I can't even remember. Oh, no, we're not in January, February. What the fuck? We are January. See, I don't pay attention to the months, guys. I pay attention to the astrology. I pay attention to the time of day sometimes. So on a rare occasion, I pay attention to the day of the week. Like, no, I do try to pay attention to the days of the week because sometimes they can be important. But like, I don't even go by the 7-day week. So, but that's besides the point. I'm not getting into that. I'm gonna get into your environment, your mental and your physical environment, okay? But when it comes to Aquarius and the moon and the sun, it's all going to be about our associations. So, is your associations in the right place or is it not? Are you bringing new associations and ways to associate and communicate and create groupings and like bring herds together and like collectives and stuff like that? Or are you just like kind of associating with bullshit, like, and then like you're just going to be like a bowl of shit or something. Like you might end up looking like a Taurus bull with the horns or something like that. Anyways, so when it comes to the environment, I thought this was a pretty good time to talk about this because what is the environment? That's something you associate with, right? That's something you can bring your associations to, the third house, the space. So you can bring that into your space to associate with it, or you can take it out, And funny because they're both air signs, so it kind of ties in. I like to I like to tie things in, show it how it connects, show it how it aligns, so then you can be like, oh my gosh, like that's so pretty, that's so cute. Like, cause I think it's cute. When things align, when things get in right, things get in tight, and people don't want to fight, they get in harmony. And they sing and they harmonize like beautiful, like Maori Waiata. Definitely search up some Maori Waiata if you want to listen to some beautiful harmonies. Maori, Maori, and then Waiata, Waiata. Beautiful harmonies. Might be the people who invented harmonies or harmonizing, all of that kind of stuff. Arguably, but that's probably more Native American energy. It's giving Native American. Shout out to the Native Americans. They are the OGs. Gotta give respect where respect is due, you know? So, when it comes to the space, you know, like I was saying before, you're either gonna be a product of your environment or you are going to be producing your environment. And I'll get into that now. So, when you are a product of your environment, right? You are going to be more in a reactionary state of being, of course. You know, you're going to be reacting to everything that's going on around you. And this can be on a small scale and a large scale. On a small scale, you're going to be reacting like immediately. So anything, any little thing that happens in your environment, bitch didn't do the dishes, bitch didn't wipe the bench, bitch didn't blah, 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 blah. You know, bitch is lazy, bitch is this, bitch is that, bitch is blah, blah, blah. You know, all of these kind of things. That's an example of you being a product of your environment because you're constantly in that reactionary energy. Now, don't get me wrong, there's always an equilibrium, so you can still react to certain things, but the outcome will show you where you are at. So, when the outcome's more negative, in playing out more negative end of the spectrum, of course, you're going to realize, okay, maybe I'm a product of my environment in this moment. Maybe I didn't realize that I'm not actually controlling shit right now. I think that I'm controlling shit. I think that my mouth is making a difference. But the only difference it's making is now everybody in the house wants to slap me outside the head, bitch. So who's making a difference? You or the people who's slapping you upside the head? I think it's the people who's going to slap you upside the head that's making the biggest difference. Now, don't get me wrong, equilibrium again. Some people, they just want to slap people upside the head. So it might not have anything to do with you, you know? There's a case to case basis, and you've got to be adept. You've got to be an adeptist. You've got to be spiritually aware of everything that goes on in your environment mentally. And then you'll be able to notice what everything that goes on in your environment physically is happening. So you could be like, on the opposite end, you're just paying attention to everything that's physically happening. So you're like hyper vigilant, like, oh my gosh, like this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And now you lost sight of the true vision. You lost sight of the true world. You lost sight of your mind, which is where you really should have been hyper vigilant at. You know, you should have been like, oh my gosh, I need to pay attention to this thought. I need to pay attention to this feeling, this feeling, this thought, this thing, everything that comes into your space. That's the real hypervigilance you should be on. Most people, they're hypervigilant about everything that doesn't matter, everything in the physical, everything blah blah blah. But when you actually be hypervigilant about your mental, this will result in you not even having to be hypervigilant about your physical, but your actions will play out as though you had been hypervigilant, but in a positive way. Because most people will be hyper vigilant and then they end up just like getting the whole wrong idea. They just get up, like create a whole imaginary reality, create a whole imaginary scenarios, and then they just like, oh my gosh, like what happened? You know, like what the heck? Whereas like when you play it out in the mental, you're like, oh, okay, I'm hyper vigilant about my thought, hyper vigilant about my feelings, and then when it comes to the physical, you don't even have to worry about half that shit because you already trained yourself in the mental to develop that kind of behavior naturally. So when it comes to you actually playing out the action, you will just be everything will just be smooth, cutie, 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 kiki, car, grab a cup of tea and have a biscuit and have a piece of cake, you know, all of that good shit so that you can grow your cake and shake, shake, shake. All of that good stuff. So when you do that, you'll be realizing, oh, things play out a lot more positively, where you don't even have to blink an eye. You don't even have to look over there, and you already know. You already know what the heck happened. You already know how to handle the situation because you were hyper vigilant internally. You were constantly aware and being clairvoyant about what was going into your space and out of your space in terms of thoughts and feelings. And so when it comes to actions coming in and out of your space, you'll be like that much more onto it, that much more clear about it because you already were clear about it in your mind. So it's like mentally training yourself. That's why everyone says mind over matter. But a lot of people just say that and they don't even fucking practice. They don't practice what they preach, you know? So when it comes to this energy, that's how you can be more adept. And shout out to Moony Mercury Baby as well. He brought up something very similar to this about clairvoyance and clarity. I think it was the other day. I might be wrong. It could have been a while ago. About clairvoyance and clarity. And like he used the example. I love this example that he used. He was talking about how imagine if your mind is the room. If your mind is the room, basically. So if you have a whole bunch of stuff that's cluttered in your room, aka you have a whole bunch of thoughts and feelings that's all around your room, then vice versa, if you have a room as well that has no things in it, has no thoughts, no feelings, or as minimal as possible, you just got like that thought over there, that feeling over there, and that thought over there. You just got a few things. You got your bed, you got your backdrop, you got your freaking like stuff that you use to craft with. You know, you got your drawers where your clothes go, and you might have your wardrobe too, or whatever. You know, just having those few things versus the other space, you'll be able to notice the clearer space when things change. Because why? There's less things to pay attention to. You don't have to worry about all the shit that's in your room already. Oh, did I put that there? Was that already there? Blah, blah, blah. You know, all of that kind of energy. So when it comes to the cluttered room, aka the room that has a lot of thoughts and feelings in it, because that person didn't take the time to clear or fight off their thoughts and feelings and just like only bring in or welcome the good thoughts and feelings that benefit and nourish them, fulfill them, then that person's going to be like, oh, wait, was that thought already there? Wait, was that feeling already there? And I've experienced this like literally myself. Like, if you have ever experienced being in a cluttered mental space, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, exactly what Moony Mercury Baby's talking about. So shout out to him for that awesome example. Definitely go check out his channel. He's got freaking amazing videos. Like, oh, bomb, bomb, bomb. Bomb diggity dog. Diggity 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 diggity. So when it comes to that clear space, obviously when it comes to that clear space, you're going to be able to tell exactly what's coming in and out of that space because it's clear, you know, it's clean. So as instant somebody moves, brings in their pair of shoes, now you know, oh my gosh, that pair of shoes wasn't there before because I know exactly everything that's in my motherfucking room, you know? So that's the kind of energy. When it comes to you being clairvoyant, you're going to know exactly every energy that's coming in and out of your space. And then that'll play out physically for you in your environment physically. So anytime someone comes into your space, you'll know why they're coming into your space. You know what they're bringing into your space. You know how they're bringing it into your space. All of that shit. Because you already have that adeptness within the mind. You're already hyper vigilant in the mind. So that's why like people like get lost into like words and they'll be like, oh, hyper vigilant. Like that's like trauma. Like blah, blah, blah. But it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. You know, if you're hyper vigilant in the physical, like I was saying before, that's more trauma based. If you're hyper vigilant mentally, aka not hyper vigilant about other people's thoughts, that's still hyper vigilant about the physical. Because I'm catching this vibe. Like some people might be watching and be like, "Oh, like hyper vigilant about other people's thoughts." No, we're talking about your thoughts, your feelings. Okay. What are your thoughts and feelings that you're receiving within your mental space? That's where you should put your focus first. Number three, that's where you should put your focus first. What is that? Fucking District 12 from fucking, what is that movie? I don't know. That shit is all about colonization and bullshit like that. Freaking District 13, that's like the Native American, because they try to say that they wiped them out, like District 13. They try to say that they destroyed them. But if you look at District 13, they're actually the most powerful district that can actually rise up against the capital. You know, so that it's all like that's how they view the Native American people. And then like District 12, oh, that low key reminds me of New Zealand and Australia. I ain't even gonna lie, because it's like they kind of want to destroy District 12, but like they keep them like in this docile state. So District 12 is like people who's like think like the Native Americans. They think like District 13. They're similar, you know, so they have that similar mind state, but like they're not all the way there. They haven't all the way like gotten into that stage where they're head to head with the capital, all of that kind of energy. So they kind of keep them in a docile state where they're like, here, yeah, stay down, boy. But yeah, anyways, let's get back to the topic. Get back to the topic. Get back to the topic. So when it comes to, that's like one of my favorite little sayings. I noticed personally, I have these little things that I go back to. That might be my Taurus, consistency quality there. There's just certain things that I tend to go back to with that fixed energy. It's like, when it comes to, but anyways, I digress. So, yeah, when it comes to that hypervigilance, guys, when it comes to the hypervigilance, that is how it's healthy to be hypervigilant in the mental, but with your own thoughts and feelings. And then the more you do that, then you'll be able to be hypervigilant about other people's thoughts and feelings and other people's actions and so on and so forth. But that part comes naturally because you're already doing it with your thoughts and feelings. You're not focusing on the external. You're not focusing on what everyone else is doing or bringing to the table or doing to you. You're focusing on what you are doing to you, So that's how you can kind of twist it, flip it on its ass, especially if you're stuck in that mind state where you're constantly looking in the external and you're looking for everything externally and you're hyper vigilant about everything. You're in that fight or flight mode. You're like, what's going to happen next? Nothing's going to happen, babes, unless you think it. So, go back to your thoughts, realize what you're thinking and feeling, and then you'll be able to fix it. Don't know who that was for. That felt very, direct to the point. But, messages for everyone, messages for everywhere, everyone, every woe, every ho, every toe, every toe. Koto means everyone in Māori. So when it comes to, and actually, toe in general is part of everyone. It's like kind of like a post, basically toe is like the end of the word when you're talking about everyone. Like you're kind of talking about a large group of people, like 3 or more people. So that's why I also said that. But I didn't think of it, I just said it, like it just flowed out of my mouth, and then I said that afterwards. So when it comes to that right there that I was talking about, that's a way that I show myself my own synchronicity, me and all possibilities. We show those synchronicities between us to show that what I'm saying isn't shit, because sometimes I might have those random thoughts, like, am I talking shit? Am I talking bad? What, but. But then I just say stuff like that, and then I'm like, bitch, shit, where? So yeah, let me get back on track. But like I said, there's no really on track when it comes to my videos because I just speak spit. It's like a freestyle. It's like a free for all. It's like boom, 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 bam. Bah. What you gonna get? What you gonna do? What you gonna? I don't know why I give that energy. I don't know why, but if it happens, it happens. Sometimes it happens. I think that's my Aries rising coming through. Because it makes me look extreme. It makes my Gemini look like I'm on steroids. Like, bish, ADHD ain't got nothing on this. They need to invent a new term. Because ADHD, that ain't me. That is not me. Okay? They need to invent a new term. Because I know if I was to go to the psychologist, that would bring out a whole list. That'd be like autism, ADHD, homosexuality, bipolar. No. I don't know about that. Maybe in the past. When I wasn't hyper vigilant about my mental space. All of that good shit. So, when it comes to you being a product of your environment, right? The more hypervigilant you are about your physical environment, the more reactionary you are. That's obviously going to be you being a product of your environment. So I'd advise people like that, people in that space, like I'd advise myself if I was in that space, to take a moment, take myself back into my internal space, go hermit mode, go into my room, take some time, stay off the internet, I would advise that too. You know, like a lot of people addicted to the internet, they'd be doom scrolling for 20 or 24 hours of their day. If you check their settings, it probably says 25 hours in one day. Bitch, where the fuck did the other hour come from? You just created it. Like, I don't know, you just created it from the amount of time that you were spending on your phone doom scrolling, and you created a whole nother hour in the day. Damn. So, you know, like, when it comes to, like, how, anyways, let's not get too deep into that. So, when it comes to, don't, don't mind me, guys. I'm adding myself. I'm adding myself. So, I just about said it again. And again, I just about said it again. I literally just about said it. And see, that's me. That's me being hyper vigilant about my own mental space right there. You just got a live example, guys. A live example. That shows how much work that I've put in because I didn't used to be able to do that. Don't get me wrong. I used to be so bad with this shit. Like 20 ums in a sentence, 20 fucks, 20 filler words, like any filler word that you like, bish, like half of my sentence was filler words. You can't even call it a sentence anymore. You can just call it talking shit. So that just shows how much I've done, how much of that hypervigilance I've done within my mental space to be more clairvoyant, to be more clear in what I'm bringing in and externalizing out of my waha, out of my mouth. So I'm getting that sense like you need to speak Māori, te reo Māori, kōrero Māori, baby. Sometimes you just got to reconnect, tune back into your roots, especially if you're really disconnected and lost and confused. In your third house, you're not in that environment immediately, like in someone else's environment. You're in someone else's space. So when you tap back into your roots, that's you going back into your space. You're walking back into your space. Now you can be more clear, like not so muddy, not so much bullshit going on. Scrub a dub in the bathtub. So, don't mind me pointing, guys. That felt rude. So, let me just get myself back on track. I need to get myself back on track. Gemini tangent. The Gemini is strong in this one. So, damn. So yeah, back into that hypervigilance. That's what I was talking about. Hypervigilance and being hypervigilant about your mental space, and then being a product of your environment. Okay, so like I was saying, when you feel like you're more of a product of your environment, you need to take that time, tune back into your own space. Like I said, go hermit mode because that's going to get you more into your own mental states, your own mentality, and then you'll be able to tune back into your own energy more. Don't go too far into your comfort zone because that'll lead you into more of that energy of not being in tune with your own space. You need to take yourself more uncomfortable as well sometimes. Remember to have that equilibrium, because if you go too far into your comfort zone, bish, that's where the dreams go to die. Always remember that. Comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. So do not kill that shit. Expectation is killer of joy. Comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. I know a lot of killers. I know a lot of murderers, mentally speaking. I know a lot of murderers and I don't fuck with that shit. So I just like to X that out of my reality as soon as possible. Wow, dude's a kung fu karate kick, bitch. And then the more I do that, the more I'll be able to be in a more state of peace. And then I'll be able to produce an environment because I'm more in tune with my own environment and being more hyper vigilant and clairvoyant about what's going on in my own mental environment. That's when you'll start to be able to produce your environment. And if you're in the state of producing your environment, you'll be able to just do one thing. You won't even say or express what you wanted. Like, let's say something happened, like externally. Let's say, like I was saying before, like this person didn't do the dishes. You think that, oh, like the first thing you should do is get in that reactionary energy, and get pissed and be like, oh my gosh, everybody in this fucking house is lazy, fucking don't do the dishes, fucking blah, 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 blah. But, you know, if you're in that state where you're producing your environment because you're already hyper vigilant mentally, not physically, like I was saying before, you'll be like, oh, let me not react. Let me not get pissed because you know what? I know that shit be happening. You know, people be flunked out. People be flunked out in their desires. You know, and what am I gonna do? Like change that person? No, I'm just gonna be me. I'm gonna be me and show the example, express myself. Because if you want to see something in the world, you gotta be that. You know, you can't just be like, oh no, let me. I'm gonna just wait around for other people to be what I want to see. No, bitch. The reason why you want to see that is because it's something that you should be, you know? So the more you be that, you'll be able to more see that, you know? So you be that person, be like, nah, I'm not going to be getting that reactionary state of being. I know a lot of people struggle with the dishes. I know myself, I struggled with the dishes because I had traumas. I felt like chores was a bad thing. You know, I felt like chores was something that like a punishment or something. But like I actually had to train my mind. I had to train my mind and realize, no, actually, I want to do chores. I like doing chores. I like cleaning. But because I was so programmed, you know, with my own traumas and my own experiences, my own past downfalls, I thought that it was like a, you know, like a bad thing. And then I realized, no, wake up, bitch. Like you love this. You love to have a clean house. You love to have clean things in your environment. You don't like to have messy shit. No, the fuck. So, what do? You start to do that. You start to enact that. You start to play that out. And because you didn't get in that reactionary state of being, you just let it go. You treated it like it was nothing. Treat it like it was no thing. So now you're in that more space with all possibilities. You're in a more free spiritual space because you didn't allow the external to take you down, bring you down and make you feel heavy, make you feel like, oh, you know, all that ugly shit, get angry and pissed. And then boom, what happened? You did the dishes. Now a whole bunch of people in the house start doing the dishes. Now the dishes is getting done when you didn't even think to when you didn't even think to do it. Now the dishes is getting done when you were going to get up and do them anyway. Because why? You created the environment. You produced the environment. And instead of sitting around and getting pissed that other people weren't producing that environment for you, you just did it. You got up and you took the role on. You were like, yes, this is, I know my position in the world. I know how to create this reality. I know how to create what I want to see. And instead of waiting around or trying to force other people to see what I want to see, I'm going to be what I want to see. And that's when you start to produce your environment. So you can take that. It doesn't need to be dishes. It could be anything. It could be many, many, many different areas of your life. But the equilibrium is that you are producing your environment, aka you are being what you want to see. And when you be that, you will see that in your reality. And that's how you know you are successfully producing your environment because you will start to see everything play out naturally how you would have wanted it to play out if you had have said, if you had have opened up your waha and called it all Maori, called it all Ingarihi. That's not even how you say English. Korero English, you know, speak English to everybody. You know, you didn't even have to you didn't even have to blink. You didn't even have to wink. You didn't even have to click your fingers or, you know, waiter, come here. Can you please do the dishes for me? You didn't have to do none of that shit because you did it mentally. You mentally were like, yeah, I know that this is what I want to see, and so this is what I should be. And then boom, you started to see that in your reality. And anybody who doesn't follow suit, well, they're going to start feeling awkward. They're going to start feeling weird. And they might even start distancing themselves from you because they might feel obligated to do a whole bunch of shit that you didn't even say to do, you know? And that's going into red flag territory. So, you know, if people is avoiding me, I don't even bother. I'm not that type of person. I don't like to delve too deep into that because I know everything happens for a reason. So if people are avoiding me, especially when it comes to stuff like that, oh baby, I'm not gonna worry about that shit. I'm gonna go on my merry way and my path, you know, Mariba Way. I used to live on that street in Melbourne. That's what that reminded me of when I said merry way. So I'm gonna go on my merry way, you know, and I'm gonna do my thing. Whether people want to follow suit or not, that's up to them. But I'm gonna continue producing my environment because I'll refuse to be a product of my environment like I was in the past. I always was a product of my environment, to the point where I developed that all the tendencies of everything that I hated of the people around me, because I was so focused on, you're doing this, why are you doing that, why are you doing that, blah blah blah. And then I became a product of my environment, you know. So that's how, like, you gotta really like see it from that equilibrium state of being. And if you can see and understand where I'm coming from, or understand where I'm coming from, then you'll be able to learn how to produce, or not be a product of your environment, and produce the product within your environment. Because otherwise, you'll just go into the environment and you'll just be like, Besh, I can't be fucked. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But I want it to be done. So, Bish, who's going to do it? Are you going to wait around for some freaking ghost, Casper, to come along and pee in the cupboard? That's a little joke for myself. That's a little inside joke. When I was little, I blamed it a piss in the cupboard that on Casper the ghost. So, you know, you're gonna wait around for Casper the ghost to come along and pee in the cupboard, or are you gonna do it yourself and be Casper, be the ghost? And then once you are the ghost, then like everyone else, like they just start to become like what's it called? Like they're just like the physical representation of what you already are. So you're like mentally like controlling them, like, but without even doing anything. You're just being you, you know? So that's where like a lot of people try to control people, try to get in that reactionary state where like, oh, I need to control this in my reality. I'm a control freak. Grab the fucking joystick, bitch, hold the wheel. And then all of a sudden, bitch, you went off the road and fucking crashed into a fucking pole. But if you had just taken that time and stopped being a control freak, be your own control freak, control your own freak, you know, control your own freak, control your own freaks. And then the more you control your own freaks, aka you control your own thoughts and feelings. So, you know, instead of walking to the kitchen being like, oh, I don't want to do these dishes, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, why am I receiving these thoughts and feelings? Normally I love doing the dishes. Oh, this must be for a reason. This must be something that people struggle with whenever they come to this specific space and environment that I'm in right now. So now I'm like, okay, now I know I need to push against that energy, fight it. So I'll just fucking sweep that motherfucker right out, like kill that thought form, instead of feeding it, you know, because a lot of people just feed it. But every time I walk into a space, I always pay attention. What kind of thoughts and feelings do I get? What kind of thoughts and feelings am I feeling in this environment? Oh, I walk to the kitchen. Oh, I don't even want to cook anymore. Oh, I walk to the kitchen. Now I feel depressed. Whatever it is, like it could be anything, you know. But if it's something that I don't want to think or feel, then bitch, I'm not going to think or feel that. But a lot of people get into that reactionary state because they're not aware, they're not hypervigilant mentally. So then they're like, walk into a space and then they absorb everything within that space. Then they become that. And then they're the product of their environment again. Like, damn, bitch. Fucking, how many times does all possibilities have to come to you? Oh my gosh, my freaking dandruff acting up. Dandruff acting up real good. That's my environment. Stop being a product. Stop being a product. See? I see everything like that. I see so many things, like so many things I could be a product of. And I'm not going to do that anymore. So when it comes to, there it is again, that kind of energy, pay attention to how you're thinking and feeling. Everything is for a reason. So when you walk into a space and you start to catch those waves of thoughts and feelings, oh my gosh, what the heck? That could either be the other spirits that's in that space interacting with you, or that could be your own thought forms, your own ideas interacting with yourself as well. Be mindful of that too. But first, if you're in that like kind of stage of being reactionary and being a product of your environment, you should just focus on being hyper vigilant about your thoughts and feelings. Don't worry about the specifics too much right now. Like just focus on like getting that clairvoyant space, getting that clairvoyant state of being. The more you do that, the more you'll be able to go more into the details. You start simple first, you know. Start very simple. Keep it simple, dimple. You know, don't worry about no pimples. Worry about like washing your face first. You know what I mean? Like, wash your face, then you can start worrying about some pimples. If you don't even wash your face first, then, bitch, what the fuck? You might just wash your face and the pimple might fall off. Because you just worried about the pimple, if you didn't worry about washing your face, then now there's more pimples. You got more pimples. Blah, blah, blah. But anyways, that's just an example. Not physically talking about actual pimples, but that's like a way that you can describe it mentally speaking. So when I'm talking about being simple, that can apply to many different areas. But washing it, like, go, like, kind of generalize. No, not generalize, but, like, you know, keep it simple, dimple. If anyone wants any more detail or clarity on that, definitely give me that in the comments, because I'm thinking in my head that I'm like on two sides. I'm like, that was pretty clear, but then I'm like, it might not be clear enough. But if anyone would like more clarity on that, chuck a comment down in the comments. I can explain it in more detail and, you know, write you a little message, more details. But right now, I just want to keep it simple, you know, simple dimple. And honestly, guys, we're at 46 minutes. I did really good this video, guys. I didn't stretch it to an hour like every other time. Or an hour and a half is what I'm really thinking about. I didn't stretch it to an hour and a half. Like, I'm freaking living. I'm living. Living for it. Loving it. Loving it. Live, love, laugh. Those beautiful signs. Every Sagittarius mum has them, especially if they're like born in the 1979 to the 1990s kind of rough range. Those kind of mums, they be having live, love, life. Especially if they're Sagittarius mums. Live, laugh, love. And those little baskets that's made out of like those freaking pieces of like twigs and reeds and wood. And it's like got that mahogany brown like kind of color, like, and then they got like the candelabra in the middle of the table with the table mats. Like, I know, because that's my mum. That's my mum. I know exactly, and I've seen so many other mums that's born in the same similar age, and they have the same kind of shit. They're into the same kind of stuff. So yeah, that's because they're all, you know, born from the same kind of space, like same kind of environment, raised in the same kind of environment. But yeah, I'm trying to think, have I covered everything? Have I covered everything in this environmental talk? I think it's pretty clear about, you know, like what you can do about your environment, how you can produce your environment rather than be a product of it. I'm gonna leave it at that because I want to keep it nice and short and sweet, even though that's not really that short, but it's short for me. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great night, day, time, wherever you are. And I will see you guys for the next video. I may go in deeper detail if I catch any other waves or thoughts about this video. So, you know what? I just thought about that as well. I could just do part twos. Like, why do I worry? I sit there and worry and I'm like, oh, what if I don't cover everything and then I leave some stuff unsaid? Bitch, that's what motherfucking another video is for. You know? So, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. Anyways, hope you guys got some nugs, some wisdom out of this. And if you didn't, well, I mean, chuck it in the comments. Let me know what you didn't get, because I love to hear that feedback. I love to have like a little bit of dialogue back and forth, you know, because I'm a Gemini. Blah, 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 blah. I could talk for hours, bish. Don't let me talk for hours. So yeah, peace, guys.